What's going on, guys? blinkFRO here, and today I'm bringing you another Seattle Seahawks franchise video. This one's just going to be a mid-season update. As you can probably tell by the title, this isn't going to be the game against the Baltimore Ravens, but that is our next game that will be up in next video, and currently our record is 7-1. And first things first, we're going to go ahead and look at the standings, and clearly we're first in, I didn't even think we were first in the NFL, but we are first in the NFL in standings, 7-1. We have the best winning percentage in the league, which may or may not be fair because we've played a game less than the Texans, but I think that pretty much just goes to show that we're first in everything, our conference, our division, and in the NFL. The worst team in the NFC is the Vikings, who are 0-8, which is actually really embarrassing for them, and the worst team in the AFC is the Cleveland Browns, and somehow, some way, the Jacksonville Jaguars are 6-2. That's very hard to believe. That is hilarious. The Jacksonville Jaguars are my second favorite NFL team, if you guys didn't know, and my favorite NFL team is the Green Bay Packers, and they are 6-2, and they just lost their last game. So that's, I just scrolled through those real quick. Stats Hub, I guess, yeah, this is the way to see like the league leaders and stuff. Standings we already did. Records, that's just the regular records. Alright, now you got the season stats. So for the entire NFL, who cares about the conferences and the divisions and stuff? So passing, currently, Joe Flacco has the best passer rating. Matt Ryan leads the league in total passing yards so far. Drew Brees leads the league in touchdowns by 4 over Tom Brady, who is currently injured, as you can tell there, which is probably why he's not first. And then Ben Roethlisberger and Matt Ryan both are tied for the lead in interceptions. Tim Tebow is up there with 9, and somehow he's on a hot streak. And there's Tavares Jackson with 7 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. And then the longest pass of the season was the one to Sidney Rice last episode, that 96-yard pass. And the team that's been sacked the most, or the quarterback, I should say, who's been sacked the most, is Tavares Jackson. Our offensive line, aka John Moffitt, is not the best. We need to improve on that. And the person with the most completions is Drew Brees, and then Kevin Kolb. Really? That's weird. And then, once again, obviously, the most attempts are those same two players. Best completion percentage is Matt Schaub. Wait, Jeff Garcia's really still in this game? I honestly didn't even know he was still in this game. I thought he had retired already. And then the worst percentage completion is probably me on the bottom somewhere. You got Blaine Gabbert, Tony Romo, Matt Castle, Andy Dalton, Christian Ponder, Billy Volek, Michael Vick, Sanchez. Really? We're not that far down? Oh, there we are. We're sitting at a nice 51%. Average yards per attempt and average yards per game. Doesn't really matter too much. Then we're going to go to the rushing. The leading attempt rusher, the leading whatever, whoever has attempted the most runs is Marshawn Lynch by far, and he leads the league by close to 300 rushing yards over Frank Gore. He has 1,203 yards halfway through the season, so he's projected at a nice 2,406 rushing yards. We'll see if we can get to there. And he doesn't lead the league in average yards per rush, but he is up there. Maurice Jones-Drew always is going to be up there. I don't understand how Brandon Jacobs is that far up. It might have been that game when I played against the Giants. That probably didn't help. But I don't remember Jacobs doing anything amazing. Frank Gore leads the league in rushing touchdowns. Isaac Redman is second. I guess something must be wrong with Mendenhall. Then you got Foster, Rice, Maurice Jones-Drew. Average per game, Marshawn Lynch at 150. That probably needs to change. And Courtney Roby has coughed up the most fumbles along with Reggie Bush this season so far. And Frank Gore and LeGarrette Blount have broken the most tackles. And as you can see there, LeGarrette Blount is on a cold streak. Marshawn Lynch, of course, has the most rushes of more than 20 yards. The longest run of the season goes to Maurice Jones-Drew, who gets a 99-yard touchdown run. I'm assuming it's a touchdown. And if you guys didn't know, Maurice Jones-Drew is my favorite play in the NFL, straight out of UCLA. Then looking at the receiving stats, you got Larry Fitzgerald leading the league with 63 receptions, followed by Roddy White. Larry Fitzgerald's leading in yards, followed by Roddy White once again. Average per game is Danny Amendola with 18.7, followed by Pierre Garçon with 18.1. Actually, that should be average yards per reception, not average per game. And then, touchdowns is Brandon Marshall and Reggie Wayne tied at 7, and then you have a handful of 6 and then 5. I think that's all we really need to see. The yak is Owen Daniels. He has the most yak. The Falcons have 2 guys in the top, the top 3 with Yak. And as you can tell, Braylon Edwards, of course he's up there in Yak because he is just a monster. Blocking, no one really cares about. Who cares about pancakes? But most let up sacks is Jake Scott, Harvey Dale. I'm surprised none of our players are right here. That is, I guess they all share the blame. They all have an equal share of sacks because Tavares Jackson was the most sacked quarterback. Most tackles so far, Lance Briggs, followed by John Beeson, followed by Mario Williams, the former defensive end. Assisted tackles, don't really care about. Total tackles, I should have said earlier, that was solo and not total. Lance Briggs, John Beeson, Lawrence Timmons, and Will Herring. Tackles for loss, Leroy Hill from our team, David Hawthorne, KJ Wright. I think that might be something that needs to be changed because there's no way we should have the top 3 guys in tackles for loss on our team. The most sacks so far, Mario Williams, Aaron Campman, former Packer, Clay Matthews, Chris Kelsey, Terrell Suggs, James Hall. Don't see anyone on our team on this list. Most interceptions, the former Bengal Jonathan Joseph, Rasheed Mathis, and Aqib Talib. I don't even know how to say his name correctly. Then you got Ed Reed, Sean Smith, Leon Hall, Charles Tillman. And the most deflections is probably our team. That's another thing. For some reason, we always, the computer doesn't seem to tip many balls away. Forced fumbles, you got Tamba Hali, Terrell Suggs, Cameron Wembley, John Beeson, Paul Posluszny, Chase Blackburn. Fumble recoveries, don't really care about. Fumble yards, don't really care about. Blocked field goals. We got 2 of our players right here, Richard Sherman and Cam Chancellor, along with a few other around the league. There hasn't been a single safety at all in the entire NFL, which is surprising. And the most defensive touchdowns is Jonathan Joseph and Andre Goodman, both with 2 apiece. Kicking, I don't know if you guys really care about this, but Ryan Suckup, the former Mr. Irrelevant, which would be the last pick in the NFL draft, he is a perfect 26 of 26 on the season so far. The longest field goal of the season goes to Ryan Longwell with a 56er and Sebastian Janikowski with a 56er. I'm surprised that Mason Crosby's not up there anywhere because he has one of the best legs in the league. 51 is his best. Punting, don't really care about. Most punts, Chris Cluey. Least amount of punts is probably us. By a lot, yeah. Yeah, that's a lot. And then yards obviously is, relevant to whoever had the most punts. Average goes to John Ryan, one of my favorite, if not my favorite punter, the former Packer, who is on our team now, 48.8 per punt. And then net yardage, which matters the most, John Ryan with 42.7, leading the league there as well. His punts, it definitely, he doesn't punt too often, but when he does, he makes them count, which is always good. Inside the 20, Michael Conan, I believe that's how you say his last name's leading. I'm sure you guys don't care too much about these punting stats. Kick returns, we're just going to go to touchdowns. There's a whole handful with 1 touchdown. Leon Washington, of course, is there. And then punt returns, there's a handful there. They each have 1. And then we'll just take a quick look at our team and our team only. Of course, we have to scroll all the way down instead of scrolling up. Passing, I still don't understand why he even has yards, but Terrell Pryor has 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Tavares Jackson has 7 and 8. Rushing, this is our rushing breakdown so far. Leon Washington, 179 yards, 2 touchdowns. Marshawn Lynch actually has 6 touchdowns on the season. Our leading receiver is Braylon Edwards by a lot. I'm surprised that it's not more balanced, but I need to get these guys involved more. Sidney Rice has been injured, and then these guys have just been floating around. We don't care so much about that, but our leading tackler on our team is David Hawthorne, followed by Cam Chancellor. Most tackles for loss, Leroy Hill. Most interceptions, David Hawthorne, Fabian Washington, Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas. And I think that's going to wrap it up for our team. So we went through the standings, we went through the stats. We'll take a quick look at the injury report. I'm not exactly sure what you guys want to see, but Braylon Edwards, he is out for a week, and David Hawthorne is out for 7 weeks. This is my first time seeing this. I did not even know that. And we're going to just take a quick look at who's out for the season. Tom Brady is out for this season. That is a big blow to the Patriots. Chad Clifton is a big blow to the Packers. Peyton Hillis is out for the season. Robert Meacham, Rashard Mendenhall, Jason Taylor, which is probably going to be his last season in this game. You got Al Harris, one of my favorite cornerbacks, who is a former Packer, along with Nick Barnett, former Packer. Marcus McNeil, that's a big blow to the Chargers. Going down, is there anyone else really that notable? Not really too much. Tony Romo is out for 8 weeks. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I apologize if this video is just a little bit boring, but I'm just going through the stats in case you guys were wondering. I'm kind of just blabbering on, don't even know what I'm saying. But for the Pro Bowl, these are who are being voted for the AFC. You got Roethlisberger, Flacco, Manning, and then you got Foster, Jones-Drew, Isaac Redman, who's going to be making his first Pro Bowl appearance. And we'll just scroll down a little bit more. Getting tired of talking so much, so we're just going to scroll down so I don't have to blabber on and on and on. So if you need to, just pause the video. You can just take a quick look at that. But I don't care so much about the AFC because we are over in the NFC. So we're going to take a look at that. You got Drew Brees, Matt Ryan, Aaron Rodgers, Frank Gore. Of course, Marshawn Lynch is going to be noted for a Pro Bowl appearance. Hopefully he'll make it. He should easily make it. See if there's any other Seahawks. We got Braylon Edwards, who might make a Pro Bowl appearance. He seems to be last in wide receivers. So we need to work on him a little bit. I highly doubt any of our offensive linemen. Actually, I think John Moffitt should make the Pro Bowl. No, I'm just kidding. He would never ever make. Wow, our center actually is being voted for the Pro Bowl. That's a surprise. I guess it has to do with our rushing. And Chris Clemens is being voted in, along with anyone else. Eric Walden, really? David Hawthorne, who has 3 interceptions, and I think he's leading our team in tackles. Earl Thomas, who's got 2 interceptions on the season. And Cam Chancellor as well. And then our kicker, I don't even want to pronounce his last name because I know I'm going to just butcher it. And I'm surprised that our punter, John Ryan, is not in there. So we've looked at the standings, the stats, the Pro Bowl voting, the weekly awards we don't really care about. Yearly awards, we might as well take a quick look. These are the people being mentioned for MVP. Matt Moore, really? How? Alright, I need to look at this. What are his stats on the season? How is he being noted for MVP? 15-7, almost 2,000 yards. I guess that's actually pretty good. That's weird, though. I would never expect Matt Moore to be there. Offensive player, Drew Brees, Frank Gore, Tom Brady. Defensive player, Talib, Mathis, Hawley. Rookie, Cam Newton, go figure. Defensive rookie, Patrick Peterson, go figure. Best quarterback, best running back. How's Marshawn Lynch not number 1? That's ridiculous. We need to work on that. Wide receiver, we're not going to be mentioned. Offensive line, clearly we're not going to be mentioned. Chris Clemens is being mentioned for best defensive lineman. Best linebacker, Hawthorne's being mentioned. I'm sure, nope, no one's being mentioned for defensive back on our team. We have no one for kicker, and Coach Pete Carroll could possibly be the coach of the year in his second season. Yes, his second season as the Seattle Seahawks head coach. Wait, was Drew Brees really 3-6? Yeah, and he's being mentioned for MVP. That's BS. I don't even want to hear it. So the last thing we're just going to take a quick look at is, real quick, for you guys wondering, yeah, alright, I need to change that, but, oh yeah, I can't show you on here. I was going to show you the sliders, but go check, just, I'll put it in the description if I can remember, Mr. Hurricane sliders. Those are the ones I use. I was going to show you, but I have to back out of this. And then the last thing we're going to look at is the scouting info. I haven't been doing this, I've just been letting the computer do it. But this is who we've been scouting so far. Andrew Luck, Matt Barkley, Kellen Moore. I don't think we really need, I mean, we do need a quarterback, but I don't think we're going to be getting either one of these guys, so we're going to have to draft one later. And I like how they have really fat faces. Here's a couple running backs we've been looking at. Fullbacks, wide receivers. I really want Justin Blackman. Maybe we can get him if we get a late first round pick because he would be solid for our team to follow Sidney Rice if we decide to keep those players. And we're just going to take a quick look through. Not really too worried about this right now. We'll worry about this as the season comes to an end. But I think that's going to wrap up this video. It's been longer than longer than needed. If there's anything that I missed, I can just include it real quick in the beginning of another video. So the next video, this game against the Ravens will be 2 days from now because I do Madden every other day. So just be on the lookout for that. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. And as always, thanks for watching, and tune in next time.